Hi, this is Steph with Belladonna Dyes, and today we're going to make a thermal hoodie. You want to start by deciding where you want the center of your spiral to be, then give it a little pinch, and take your hemostat and clamp it down on the first click. It doesn't need to be over tightened. And then begin creating your spiral by twisting the hemostat. And if you watch, notice how I'm using my opposite hand to actually create the pleats and make the spiral. So for this project, I started with the hoodie with the front side laying flat against the table because there's always a good side and a bad side to the spiral. When it comes time to add the dye, I want the part that was flat against the table to be on the top because that's going to receive the most pigment. So that was my whole thought process behind that. And then just continue to work on spiraling up your spiral until you can't go any further with the microwave splatter guard. And then when you go to remove your hemostat, make sure that you unclick it and then put your finger down into the center of the spiral and gently wiggle out the hemostat. I said there was a good side and a bad side to the spiral, which is usually true, but when you use the microwave splatter guard, both sides are pretty darn good. Now you just want to continue working on your pleats. And don't be afraid of doing long sleeves. I actually am enjoying making long sleeve projects because they really do sort of help button everything up, because if you watch me, I'm going to use the sleeve to wrap it around and make everything nice and tight. Try not to overthink the hood part of these hoodies. You just pleat them up and incorporate it in with everything else. I'm going to secure this project by using my favorite rubber bands, but I'm using the stretched out ones. Remember I told you guys how I'm wrapping my projects in the electric blanket? Well, the electric blanket stretches the rubber bands out to whatever size of the project is, and they don't bounce back. These stretched out rubber bands are perfect for these larger projects, so don't throw them away, you can reuse them. I love watching tie-dye so much that I was just totally geeking out on my own spiral making here and just like watching and forgetting that I'm even editing. I was jamming out to the music. So keep in mind, you guys, I have this sped up already. So this is just how picky I am. This took me forever to spiral up, but that's one good looking spiral right there. Using a washable marker, I like to mark out my pattern. This is not a necessary step, but it's something that I like to do. It sort of helps keep me on track, even though 9 times out of 10 I get going and do whatever I want anyways. But you want to start by finding the center of your spiral, because even though this is a circle, that doesn't mean the center of the spiral is right in the dead center of this circle. So you want to definitely have your lines intersect through the center of the spiral. I was having a hard time seeing my lines, and I thought if I can't see my lines, you guys probably can't see them either. So all I'm doing right now is just darkening them up. Now it's time for the fun part, and my favorite part. We get to add the dye. And for this particular hoodie, I'm going with that Southwestern motif, sort of the browns and blues with the golds, and it turns out really pretty. So a lot of you probably already know this, but many of you maybe don't. Turquoise is a primary color, and primary colors don't split with ice dyes. And I did this on purpose because I'm going to be using a lot of browns, and I wanted to make sure to choose a blue that was going to be strong and powerful in the end. You know, if I would have used a lot of lighter blues, they would have possibly washed away and left me with a lot of brown, and I really wanted a blue that's going to pack a punch. If you want that, turquoise is your go-to. It does not play nice though. It's one of those dense, sticky powders that doesn't want to come out and smooth on very nicely. So it took me a minute, but I got it. I haven't said this in a while. I use a different spoon for each jar of dye. I don't want to cross-contaminate. I got these spoons, I think at Walmart, like 50 spoons, 100 spoons, whatever. I just rinse them out in the sink, and then I stick them in the dishwasher, and when they're dry, I put them back in the box. I try not to throw away anything. I'm very frugal, and this stuff really adds up. Tie-dye is not a cheap hobby. The one thing I really love about Robin's Egg Blue, it's that nice granular sort of sandy powder, and it goes on super duper easy. Although, you need to know, when you're working with it in ice dyes, you need to put it on pretty heavy. Robin's Egg Blue has a tendency to disappear completely with ice dyes. Another color that does that is hot pink, just an FYI. Right here is an example of me getting off my pattern. I decided that this shirt is starting to get a lot of brown on it, so I wanted to have an opportunity to add more blue. So I just took this pie piece and I split it in half. That's the fun thing about tie-dye. You can do whatever you want. A quick little reminder about the Facebook group. So there's a Facebook group that you can join, and the link for it is down below in the description box. It's the link that's right underneath the Etsy link. Click on that, ask to join, I will accept you in. What's really good about joining the group is I'm super busy and I'm having a hard time getting to all the questions and the comments. So if you join the group and you go in there, you can ask questions, and other members that are tie-dyeing that also watch the tutorials and are in the know, they can help answer your questions. And it's a place that you can share pictures of your tie-dye, and it's really exciting, so don't forget to join the Facebook group. Just a little mental note for you guys. The fastest way to make green is to sandwich turquoise in between two golden brownish colors. So something to consider when you're placing your dye. Give your project a quick little sprinkle of soda ash for good measure. We're going to be pushing a lot of water through it via the ice, so you want your pH to stay up around 10.5 to 11. The only reason why I'm using the large store-bought ice is because my ice machine was empty from other projects. How many of you guys asked for an ice machine from Santa Claus this year? So the ice is heavy, and I don't want the center to become overly muddy, so what I'm doing is I'm sort of thinning out the ice in the center and pushing it towards the outer rim. I checked the back after the ice had melted and it had full saturation, so I set it aside and let it batch for 48 hours. See what I mean about the green? So it's been a little over 48 hours and now it's time for the rinse out. You want to start by using cold water to rinse away any soda ash that might still be reacting within the fabric, and then gradually increase your water up to hot and rinse until the water runs pretty much clear. One good thing about ice dyeing, they're easy to rinse out because they're so full of ice water. Well, it's probably warm water by now, but you know what I mean. Liquid dye, they take forever to rinse out, especially these thermal hoodies because they just suck up the dye. So from here, I take it to the washing machine and I do however many hot water cycles it takes using Synthropol until the water runs clear. I take my little cup, I catch it, and I look at it. If the water is clear, I know I'm ready for my final rinse using Milsoft. So I do a hot water cycle using Milsoft, which brings softness back into the fabric after the dyeing process. And I get Synthropol and I get Milsoft from Dharma Trading Company, and it's not called Synthropol anymore, it's called Kirillon. And I do have links down below in the description box for both of those, so it's easy for you to find, along with everything else that I use for tie-dye, so go ahead and check that out. And then I take the project and I stick it into the dryer, and then I iron it, and we come back and we see the results. Well, here it is, guys. Here's our thermal hoodie after it's been washed and dried, and I love this hoodie. I love this color combination. Now, the pictures, I always say this, are not doing it justice because I don't have the proper equipment. So these side-by-sides are taken in a back bedroom and they're lit. and then the flat pictures are taken on the kitchen floor with me standing way above them. So the actual colors are somewhere in between the two, but you get the idea. So where the Palomino gold and the amber waves met with the blue, it made Cayman Island green. I didn't even add that in there, but it sure looks pretty. And my favorite part of this hoodie is the scalloped edges of the golden brown. I just think they look so beautiful. The dark chocolate sort of got lost by the rust brown. I wish in hindsight I would have maybe separated it with another strip of turquoise. But overall, I am so pleased with this hoodie. It's gorgeous and it totally is giving me those sort of Southwestern vibes. So what do you guys think? Please leave me some comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Leave a thumbs up and click the bell and set it to all. That way you get notified of future uploads. And remember, have fun tie-dyeing.